What's up, guys? I'm Chase.
And I'm Landon, and today we're going to be giving you everything you need to know about the Ambush Nike Dunk High Flash line. Alright, so first, thank you guys for stopping by to check us out. Now let's start off with the basic info for this release before we move on. So this Dunk High collab is set to release this weekend on July 30th, pending any delay, with the retail price of $180 in men's sizing. And that release time is set for 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern time on the Sneakers app. So don't forget to go in and turn on those notifications so you will be reminded to enter. And this is set up to be a sneakers draw, so whenever this opens up, you should have about 10 minutes to enter when they become available. But I would be ready to go ahead and put your size in right whenever the clock hits the hour, just to be safe. And for sizing, these do appear to be a men's sizing only release. So no preschool or toddlers options showing right now, but if that changes, we will be sure to update the sizing for you. But that pretty much covers the date and the time. So let's take a closer look at the overall design and the reason for the hype on these. All right, so as the title implies, this adds to the list of Ambush Nike Dunk High collabs. So previously, we have seen a black and white release, the Cosmic Fuchsia, and then most recently, the Deep Royal, and now we have the Flash Lime to join the collection. So this color blocking is going to resemble the same look as the Cosmic Fuchsia release, due to the Flash Lime dominating pretty much the entire shoe. The only real difference between those and these and the Fuchsia Dunks is that the Fuchsia had like a pink swoosh kind of matching the entire shoe, but these get a black swoosh to mix it up a little bit, even though it's hardly a mix-up. But the Cosmic Fuchsia didn't really perform that well, which is it's going to be something to keep your eye on. And the color blocking, like for the Deep Royal and then the black and white Ambush Dunk High, was a little more consistent with like the typical color blocking that you'll see on Nike Dunks. And then, well, these Flash Lime fall more on the side, with the Cosmic Fuchsia having pretty much one color cover the entire shoe. Personally, I do like these a little bit better than the Cosmic Fuchsia Dunks, since they did add that black Nike swoosh. And I almost feel like that was vital, because if they didn't have that part, I don't think I would like these at all. I was actually pretty high up on the Cosmic Fuchsia colorway before they released for some reason, and then whenever I got to see them in hand, it was an immediate turn off for me. But you know, to each their own. Everyone has their opinion on what colors and even, you know, what designs they like and don't like. For me personally, this is going to lean a little closer to the don't like, you know, in reference to copying for a personal, but that kind of covers the overall design and the reason for the hype on these. So let's move on. All right, so for raffles and reservations, there aren't any available at the time of this recording. There is still a chance that some options will open up soon, or may have already opened up by the time this video comes out, even though this is going to be a relatively exclusive release. But just make sure you keep an eye on our website that you can find at www.shoewear.co, and that's where we update raffles every day as they continue to open and close. Or you can always just refer back to this video, because we do leave a link in the description to our blog post as well. So that's just another way that you could access that. But now I'm going to let Chase take over so he can let you know what sites are releasing these, what the aftermarket looks like, and your best chance on how to cop a pair.
Thanks, Landon. So on to the sites that are dropping these Ambush Dunks and at what time. So the time of this recording, the only confirmed site that are dropping these Dunks is Nike Sneakers. But based off the Deep Royal colorway that dropped last month, retailers like Kith, Nordstrom, and DSM&Y could drop them. Now for Kith and Nordstrom, they usually drop at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and DSM is at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Now for the most up-to-date info, definitely visit howtocop.shoewear.co. But moving on, let's look at the average sale prices on the aftermarket. Now, as a disclaimer, the prices you see could change as we move closer to the drop, but also when you visit howtocop.shoewear.co, there will be links to all of the marketplaces for you guys to check out closer to the release date. Now, starting off with StockX is at an average selling price of $400. Goat's sitting at $475. eBay currently doesn't have any sales, and Flight Club is at $475. All right, now on to the drop day. This is where I walk you through the process of how I would approach drop day. So I'm going to assume that Kith, Nordstrom, and DSM&Y will be dropping these Dunks. And with that in mind, I'm already not too confident with my chances, but that won't really stop me from trying. Now, personally, I've never dealt with copying on Nordstrom, and I'm not even too sure how their release process even works. So I'm just going to skip that release and focus on Kith. Now with Kith release process, it is pretty straightforward. They do drop exactly at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so be ready. Kith does have bot protection and they use H-Captcha. Basically, H-Captcha will have you either choose pictures from a phrase or it will have you draw a box around an object like a cat or a plane. Now, after passing verification, you should be in a queue where you can actually see if your size is still in stock. And then from there, what I'm going to do is while I'm in queue, I'm going to take my chance and enter into Nike sneakers on my phone. Now, these dunks have been loaded as a draw, so you will have the 10 minutes to enter, and that will allow enough time while you're in queue. And basically for that, that's all that we have for 10 a.m. drops. Now up next, you have at 11 a.m., you have DSM, which is extremely hard to cop manually. It's because usually that DSM doesn't really have a lot of stock and the releases are all about speed. So if you are on your phone or you have slow internet, you really have no chance. For stock numbers, I predict the stock to be relatively low, but expected with any ambush collab. Now, looking back at the deep royal colorway that released, the total stock in the United States was only around 3,500 pairs. And I do expect this colorway to have similar stock numbers. So don't get too discouraged if you do take an L on the shoe highlighters. The odds are just not in your favor. Now, as for my resale prediction, I predict resale prices to hold around $300 to $400 range. And if you do cop, that should net you a profit anywhere between $100 and $200 per pair. Now, should you hold or sell this flash lime colorway? Now, in my opinion, I recommend to sell. Even though this colorway is way better than the fuchsia pink colorway, I still don't really see prices climbing year after year. Now, will these eventually go up? Of course. But I do feel like most of you guys that are watching this video don't really have enough funds to be tied up for a long period of time. So with that being said, definitely try to sell as soon as possible to capitalize on those people who have missed out.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of How to Cop for the Ambush Nike Dunk High Flash Line. Thank you guys for taking some time to check us out. For more sneaker news, our available shoes for sale, and just anything that we do, click the link in our bio and check that out.
Also, feel free to comment, interact below to let us know what shoe you want to hear about next. But until next episode, peace.